Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Special Ops issue number 1 from the summer of 2011. This magazine came with 2 games, Raffia and Savage Streets. Raffia is designed by Dean Essig and Savage Streets is designed by Tom Moran. These are both low complexity games, can be played solitaire or with 2 players, and they're going to be kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum as far as what kind of games they are. So let's take a look at both games and see what you get. And here's a look at what you get with Raffia. You get a 4-page rulebook, a map, and your half sheet of counters. It's a pretty simple map. You're just going to have an open area. You're going to have a tent at one side and the other, and you're going to be basically starting your forces here, going across the board, trying to get one of your phalanx units into the tent, and your opponent's going to be doing the same. Pretty straightforward. And we'll take a look at the counter sheets that come with the game. Egyptian forces are in green, Seleucids are in purple, and then you have some admin counters down here at the bottom. As you can see, just a small half sheet of counters. Now we'll take a look at the rulebook. Is simple 4-page rulebook, very easy to pick up. If you're familiar with the Standard Combat series, you'll feel very much at home because it uses a subset of the SCS rules. Starts off with the sequence of play, breaks down all the sequences here for movement, range, combat, panicked elephant, movement and recovery, phalanx pushing and resolution, and cavalry additional movement. Then you have your units, zones of control, a breakdown of the different units in the game and how to read them. We get into stacking, facing, unit interaction, range combat, aka rock throwing, melee and trampling, pushing, retreats, phalanxes, elephants, and then we have a breakdown on how to play both sides of the game, how to set up. And on the back we have our CRT and an explanation of all the different states, our pushing table, and an explanation of Zox. And we'll take a look at Savage Streets. This is the battle for central Stalingrad, so only a small subsection of the overall battle of Stalingrad is represented here. This is a game that was inspired by the system used in the pocket battle game Rattenkrieg. That was published by Turning Point Simulation. So if you've played that, you'll be familiar with this. Again, just 4 pages of rules, pretty easy to get your mind wrapped around, and a very small, easily manageable map. And the only extra table on it is the turn track. To take a look at the counter sheet, we have our German counters here and our Soviet counters. Then along the bottom, these red counters are actually event sheets. These are used to change the complexion of the battle as it unfolds. And then we have some more German counters here as well. Now we'll take a look at the rulebook. It is a simple 4-page rulebook, which I had mentioned before. This is based on the system used for the pocket battles game Rattenkrieg, which was published by TPS. And it starts off with the introduction, stacking limits, and then a breakdown of the German units, Soviet units, and your event sheets. Reinforcement phase after setup. Then we have placing Soviet event sheets, Soviet movement phase, German movement phase, and then an explanation of all the Soviet event sheets. End of turn phase, optional special unit capabilities, engineers and pioneer companies, German armor. And then on the back, we have our regimental integrity, Soviet infiltration, Schwerangriff, solitaire Savage Streets. And if you're going to play the solitaire game alone, to actually play against system, you will play as the Germans, or you can play both sides, or you play with a friend. So definitely a pretty decent little value in this small little game. Easy to take with you on the road. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Special Ops issue number 1 from summer 2011, magazine published by MMP. Comes with 2 games, Raffia, designed by Dean Essig, and Savage Streets, designed by Tom Moran. Both of these are based on existing systems, so if you're familiar with those, you'll feel right at home. If not, don't worry about it. It's only 4 pages of rules for both, so very simple games to get on the table and get to playing. Also, small form factor makes for great travel games. You get a little bit of Ancients, you get a little bit of modern conflict with Savage Streets, Stalingrad. Just the Battle of Central Stalingrad, it's just a small subsection of the overall battle. Raffia looks like it's pretty much just run up the gut and punch each other in the teeth. Makes for pretty simple smash mouth fun, and then you've got a little bit more maneuver over here for Central Stalingrad. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about either of these games. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.